In today's session of Divorce Court, when Eli saw Dominique, his heart skipped a beat. A whirlwind romance had them married only a month later. But now, after 3.5 years of marriage, Dominique says it's over.
I do not want to remember our wedding.
I love Dominique. She knew she could push my buttons.
What are you talking about? I told you every single time, I love you, I'm with you.
But Eli says Dominique is rushing into a divorce.
We didn't have a good time?
We had a great time.
You want another chance at this marriage?
Today, Dominique Vasquez and Eli Zimmerman will see if their marriage can be saved in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Dominique Vasquez versus Elis Story. I'm advised that after 3.5 years of marriage, one of which has been separated, you're ready to finally end it.
Yes, I am.
And why?
Because he's irresponsible, he's self-absorbed, and he's jealous. I did not know this about him because I married him a month after I met him.
You married him a month after you met him?
Yes.
What did you know about him in a month?
That he was funny, he was smart, he had a great sense of humor, he had the most fantastic ideas, and it was like a movie.
It's a movie script. How did you meet?
He was a bike messenger, and I was sitting on this wall one day, and he rode by me, and he said, "You have beautiful eyelashes."
Rode by you and swept you off your feet, huh?
Yes.
Did you get on the bicycle with him?
No, I couldn't get on the bicycle,
but you thought you were about to ride away in the sunset, though,
Yep,
did you?
Yep.
And it turned out to be a nightmare.
Excuse me?
From a sunset to a nightmare, huh?
Well, yeah.
Oh, a nightmare.
What do you mean by jealous?
He thought I was going to go off with everyone and their mother.
She's tripping.
What?
Why?
You're always trying to make me jealous.
No, you're
everywhere.
telling me that I'm flipping through the TV, and every few seconds that I see a man on the television, I watch it extra? Please.
So he really thinks that anytime you look at a man, you're interested in another one?
Yes.
Is that
tripping.
why do you think that is because he went with you so soon?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You think that's because you went with him so soon, you think that you go with anybody else as well?
No, I don't want to interrupt you. I don't interrupt you. You're tripping.
No, I'm
Why
not.
is she tripping?
Yeah, because
I'm not even
jealous.
tripping.
Oh, right.
You're not jealous?
No.
She's a beautiful woman.
Well, I was jealous. I was a little younger, but not that
Yeah,
jealous.
so-
When you tried to play head games, when I
What
ran the
head
security
games?
at that bar.
What head games?
Oh.
Yeah, what head games? What? Tell me about it.
I would like to hear these head games.
Like the normal head games, you know?
Well,
When
what
you-
are the normal head games, Eli?
Check it out. We're living where I live in the hood. I'm working
Joe,
at this
get
bar.
ready.
We're not doing so good. You know, we're riding until the wheels fall off. And the
Because
wheels are
all
starting to
you're
fall
doing-
off.
all you're doing is
no,
going
listen,
surfing. You
and
don't
when I
go
come to work,
you go
I'm working.
surfing.
I go surfing in the daytime to relieve some
I don't want to go to
anxiety.
work today. I don't want to go to
Well,
work
he
today.
can't go surfing. He's jealous of you.
She knew she could push my buttons.
What are you talking about? I told you every single time, I love you, I'm with you. You're tripping. You're seriously tripping.
But especially back then, you know, we were living kind of a crazy life, so things would get escalated quick, you know?
Who's this I have in the courtroom?
AJ.
This is AJ.
Who's AJ?
AJ is my dog, but he was our dog when we were married, and I told her that. You know, everything that we have is ours. But I got AJ years before I met her. And I went through a lot of hard. Yeah, he's a good dog though. He's not tripping. I went through a lot of hard times with AJ. I've been home.
Is AJ barking at you, or is he barking at Mrs.
He's barking at everybody. He wants everybody to
talking
pet
to
him and say he
wants
loves
love.
him. Yeah.
That is how the
So
dog
AJ
is.
wants love
AJ's
too.
never been fought. I don't believe in fighting pit bulls or none of that. He's just a good dog. He's a good
But
dog.
who was feeding him? Who was feeding him?
Yeah, but Dominique, back then, I didn't have my head on straight. did I?
Exactly. So that's why I deserve the dog.
Why do we say back then? Can somebody bring me to
Because
where back
now
then
I got
is?
my head on straight. I got a good career. I don't.
Mr.
Where do you
Zimmerman?
live in? an apartment. Where am I living? In a house. Like, I'm
Ms.
sorry, Your
Vasquez,
Honor.
you got to take me with you.
I'm sorry,
You're
Your Honor.
leaving me out.
I'm sorry.
You're back there, and I don't know where you are.
I apologize.
Please put me in the same place and time that you are.
Okay.
What's back there?
Okay, I got AJ 3 years before I met Dominique in San Francisco. I used to be a wildland hotshot firefighter.
A wildland hotshot firefighter.
Yeah.
What's that?
Just some.
Is that just a typical firefighter?
No, we're
What's
badass.
a wildland hotshot firefighter?
I ran a chainsaw on a forest firefighting crew. It's
Okay.
like the elite fire crews
So
of
you
the
were
industry.
a firefighter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so at the end of that season, I lived with a friend of mine in Idaho, and I had no money. I was carrying mortar for bricks, and I went to the pound one day because I love dogs, and I said, let's just, my friend Shad Cup, I said, let's go look at some dogs at the pound. He said, all right. And we went there, and I seen AJ, and right when I looked at him, he looked up at me, he was 10 months old, and I knew right then that, and I said, Shad, I got $50 to buy food for the next week, or I could get this dog right now to pay to get him out, get him neutered. And Shad goes, you got to get that dog. And I got that dog, and for 3 years after that, I went through a lot of hard times, a lot of hard times.
This was before you met Ms. Vasquez?
Before I met, yes, before I met this wonderful
and you went
lady.
through
Even though she's all
times?
mad at me right now saying all these things, before I met this wonderful woman, I went through all this with my dog. I was homeless, I had a lot of hard times. And that dog never went hungry, that dog slept where I slept, that dog went into restaurants where I went, that dog rolled everywhere with me. I love that dog. You know?
Went homeless, and the dog was with you?
Yeah.
But the dog always ate?
Yeah.
So even if you didn't eat? Yeah. Is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly what I'm telling
you. That's
you.
how much you love the dog?
That's how much I love that dog.
And what happened to Azul?
Make
what
my
happened
voice
to my
crack.
dog?
Yeah, you know
what happened to my dog?
So who's Azul?
Azul was my...
And that's my bad. That's my bad.
Can I talk?
Well, excuse me. Again, you're leaving me out of this. Who's Azul?
Azul was...
He was a bad pit. He was such a good pit.
Please stop.
Wow.
He was my puppy. He was to be what AJ is to Eli, was to be my puppy, a little beautiful
When
pit
did you
bull.
get Azul?
We got him
when
right
we were
before
living
we
in
got
San
married.
Francisco, right before
and what happened to Azul?
Well, my 21st birthday, we went up to San Francisco. Eli went surfing, left AJ and the 5-month-old Azul on the beach. AJ won't run away. Azul's 5 months old, naive. He got stolen.
Now, you didn't allow that to happen deliberately, did you?
What's that?
Did you allow that to happen deliberately?
No.
Out of negligence.
Not at all.
Did you offer to replace the dog?
Well, yeah, I got all kinds of pit bulls. We had a bunch of pit bulls since. I give her a pit bull right now. I give her any kind of dog she wants. I'll buy her a dog, any dog she wants. I'll hook her
AJ.
up. I didn't mean for Azul to get lost. Do you not think that I loved Azul? Do you not think that I love that dog? Dominique, look at me in the eyeballs right now. Look at me in my eyeball. Do you not think I love that dog?
I know you loved him, but you didn't care.
Yes.
You're like, oh, Azul's gone. I'm crying. Stop crying. Stop crying. It's not that big. We'll find the dog. Stop crying. Then
you know what? I didn't mean to be mean that day, but I was bummed at myself. So I you know what?
See,
you should have cried. I should have let you cry.
That was the pattern of our relationship.
Well, I have a question. He just said, I'll buy you any dog you want. And I have a lot of pit bulls. And you said, I want AJ.
Because that is the only thing.
I'll give you Assassin, I'll give you Malice, I'll give you Hammer. All those dogs are tight. I'll give you any one of those dogs.
Assassin and Malice and Ham.
Huh?
Assassin, Malice, and Ham. Who's all that?
They're just different dogs I got.
So you have more than one pit bull?
Yeah.
Are you breeding, AJ?
No, these are all dogs that are with homeboys of mine that I grew up with that keep them, and they're my dogs, but they keep them. They take care of them. I go visit them, I hang out with them, but they're like their dogs. But I got the breeding rights to those dogs.
Those are all your dogs that you have your homeboys hold on to.
But I raised them all since they were puppies until they were at least a year, and then I let my homeboys roll them because I can't keep my dogs in this studio.
Explain to me, Ms. Vasquez. Why
hey,
is
when
it
I'm
that
rich
you
enough to
want
buy
AJ?
a house, I'll keep them all with me.
Yes.
Because he's the only thing left of our marriage. That this is the most beautiful memory that I have of our marriage is this dog. This was our child.
The marriage is over.
It was a beautiful experience at the time. And this is one of the beautiful things that came out of it.
And you want to keep something that reminds you of this surfer who did nothing, this poor, irresponsible man that you married?
Hey, I'm a barber now. I make good money. I got it together.
You want something to remind you of that?
Yes. It was a chapter of my life. It was while it was beautiful.
You don't have any pictures?
Yeah.
Why would I want a picture? Like
you don't have any wedding pictures of the chapter in your life?
She got them.
I have one picture, and I do not want to remember our wedding at all.
But I don't understand. If you don't want to think about the marriage, why do you want the dog? Every time I would look at that dog, it seemed to me I think
that would
of
be
him.
the positive of our relationship. It's just like as if you had a child.
Because AJ's an angel. Everybody loves AJ.
If I had a child with him, you know, oh, I don't want that child because it reminds me of the marriage. I don't think so.
When divorce court returns, Eli makes a passionate plea.
And if I could be with you and make things cool, then I would. I love Dominique.
You want another chance at this marriage?
Are you getting divorced? Do you need Judge Maybelline Ephraim's help settling a dispute? If you want to be a guest on Divorce Court, call 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce Court is back in the case of Dominique Vasquez, who says her husband Eli's jealousy is the reason she's seeking a divorce.
This is the tightest pit bull you ever see. Whatever you like small ones, but big ones for a big pit bull.
What do you mean when you keep saying that phrase? And forgive me, but I'm just not up on the lingo.
Tight.
What is a tight pit bull?
Well, like, okay, check him out. Come here, AJ. Look at these ham hocks right here. Look at that's tight right there. He's strong. He's beautiful.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, a strong body. All right.
Anything, you know? So he's tight.
Strong body. Joe, you want to see
Joe
how
cool
tight
with him out.
AJ
Joe knows
is?
how cool he is.
He's pretty tight, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Now you pretty tight too today, right? Stay focused now. Stay with me. Why do you think you should have the dog? You've told me he's been with you since he was 10 months old.
Because I love that dog more than anything. And you know what? If you took that dog away from me, you would break his heart and my heart. You'd break my heart more than anything in the world. But that dog loves me. We have a special relationship. That dog.
He spent time away from you before.
But Ms. Vasquez,
he
have you
spent like
moved
8
on with
months
your
with my
life?
grandma.
Excuse me?
Have you moved on with your life?
Yes.
And Grandma, you got him
day?
so fat.
I work
I'm
every
still
day.
mad.
I have my own house with a yard in the back. I have a backyard. I have a mountain right by my house that has a dog park, so you can go walk your dog everywhere.
So you
off the
think that
leash.
you have a better environment to
I have
offer
a better
AJ?
environment
No way.
because he's getting older. Not that he's even close to death.
I got the beach. I got friends with yards with toys for him to hang. I take him everywhere all the time.
And now you have a place?
Yeah, I have a place.
What kind
It's
of
a
place do you
studio.
have?
Are you still
Pit bulls can
homeless?
live in apartments, and he's happy. He goes everywhere.
That's not fair to
Ben,
him.
how much does he come to the
He's
bar? He
7
goes
years
everywhere
old.
with me.
He's 7 years old. I'm not saying
And he's happy.
close
AJ,
to
are you happy?
dying.
Huh? Are you happy? Are you happy with me?
Now, if
Am
he
I
answers
cool?
you, we all leaving out here.
Right. He answered. Did you see his eyes? You see his eyeballs?
Is this spite, Mrs. Vasquez?
No, it's not spite. I love this dog. I believe that it's about time it has some sort of stability. I don't think Eli's quite done finding a
Okay, can I say something about stability right now,
talking
please?
to her.
Okay.
Then you can say something.
I don't believe that he has reached a point of complete stability enough to give to this dog who's getting older in its years. I would think that AJ deserves some happiness, like a stable home, you know, a backyard to run around in, a terrific environment. You know, I'm not saying Eli doesn't take care of him. I'm saying that AJ deserves a lot more.
There's a lot of other things in my life that are encompassed other than our relationship that have to do with stability. And when I was younger, since I was 14, I've been crazy doing stupid stuff. But in the past
now you've
3.5 years, I've really changed my ways. And my boss, my friend right here, can tell you that I show up every day 30 minutes early to work, set my stuff up. I'm happy. I work. I rent my place. I don't.
You pay your
I can't
own
speak
rent.
a lot of things on here, but I don't do crazy stuff anymore.
We understand. We get the message.
Right.
But I was never doing crazy stuff.
But I was,
except
but I'm
for
not
marrying
now.
him
So why are you
after a
tripping on me
month.
about
The only
being
crazy
stable?
thing you did was married him in a month.
Yes.
But you got something beautiful out of it. You got AJ.
Yeah. Well, only if you award him to me.
All right.
Dominique,
Anything else you want to say?
Don't take this dog from me. Don't take this dog from me, please.
Eli,
Don't
you
take
know
this
it's
dog
nothing
from me.
personal, but he deserves happiness.
He is so happy. I treat that dog so good. I'm sorry that I could not provide for you the happiness that I provide to him, and that's my downfall. That's my lack. That's my bad. You know what I mean? And I wish I could. I wish I could go back and be who I was now, then, and make things right, because you're a wonderful woman, and if I could be with you and make things cool, then I would. But that was my bad. But you know what? I've never treated him bad. Don't take him away from me. You're gonna, you know, don't.
You want another chance at this marriage?
No.
Don't take that dog away from me.
Is this real, this emotion that he's feeling, or you say it's fake?
I've seen it before, so I don't know. I don't know. He
Mama.
has so many roller coaster emotions that I can't tell.
Okay.
You know what I used to back in the day, but this is, you know, you're trying to take look at me in the eyeballs, right here, me and you. Like I say to my son and everybody else when I'm trying to be real, don't take this dog from me, Dominique. Do not take him.
Do you think that I'm taking him out of spite? Like, I love that dog.
I know you do, but you're going to break my heart.
All right. I think I've heard enough.
When divorce court resumes, the judge renders her verdict, and Eli makes another attempt at reconciliation. And an update on the case of Donita Frazier versus Brad Monroe.
So he ripped up the kitchen floor.
He just tore it up off the floor.
Who is he, Superman?
Your Honor, I feel I shouldn't have to replace nothing because she drove me in that mental state of mind to go crazy like that.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back and the verdict is in the case of Dominique Vs versus Eli Zimmerman.
Back in the matter of Eli Zimmerman versus Dominique Vs. This dog has been a part of Mr. Zimmerman's Zimmerman's life since the dog was 10 months old, similar to a child. You're making a big deal out of the stability and your nice home and your backyard and every place that you can run this dog, and that's all good and wonderful, but you also sound like the person who decides that for a child to be happy, they have to have things. Happiness is not found in things. He told you that when he was homeless, this dog was with him, and the dog loved him. When he didn't have a place to eat, he fed the dog. You haven't said that. You said, but now I got everything to give him. All it said is you're making better money, you got a bigger house, you got a nicer yard, he has an apartment. But I don't think AJ is really interested in all of that. I didn't hear you say one time I have a lot of love to give him and I'll sacrifice my house for the dog. This man said, I'll sacrifice food, I'll sacrifice shelter, I'll sacrifice my own self for this dog.
Gotta kill me to get my pit bull.
Okay, Mrs. Zimmerman.
But you know, I just want to say one thing. I know.
Mr. Zimmerman,
can I say one thing?
Stop! Number one rule is to be quiet when you're ahead. Quit. Quit. You're ahead. No, quit.
I just want to say she's cool. I know she loves the dog. It ain't about that. I just know.
You know,
Okay.
Joe has not had much work today. Now, what I am going to order you to do, Mrs. Zimmerman, is to give her one of those other pit bulls that your homeboys are holding for you.
That's cool.
Now, do you know about all these other pit bulls?
I know of them, but I've never met them.
So are you interested in meeting them and getting to know one of them and selecting one?
Assassin's tight.
No?
Take them, Dominique.
You just want AJ. Mm-hmm. You don't want a pit bull. You don't want a dog. You don't want an animal to care for. You want to hurt Mr. Zimmerman.
No.
I was going to give you visitation with the dog, but I'm not even giving you visitation now. The dog is awarded to Mr. Zimmerman.
Hey.
Yeah, I have to go.
All rise.
When Divorce Court returns, an update on the case of Danita Frazier versus Brad Monroe.
Your Honor, instead of punching or hitting on my wife, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do hit walls. I punch walls. I do destructive type of things.
Closed captioning for Divorce Court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in Divorce Court. Danita said that Brad's temper ruined their marriage and her belongings.
Your Honor, instead of punching or hitting on my wife, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do hit walls. I punch walls. I do destructive type of things.
He admitted that when he got angry at her, he destroyed their furniture, their apartment, and their clothing.
So he ripped up the kitchen floor.
He just tore it up off the floor.
Who is he, Superman?
Your Honor, I feel I shouldn't have to replace nothing because she drove me in that mental state of mind to go crazy like that.
Danita wanted him to pay for the damages he'd caused, but Brad wanted the judge to force Danita to give him back his beloved entertainment center. The judge agreed with Danita that Brad should pay for the property damage he caused.
Your anger has cost you. When you do silly stuff like that, you have to pay for it.
Danita was also awarded the entertainment center.
She's getting the entertainment center.
My entertainment center, Your Honor?
Your entertainment center.
Since then, Brad has moved out of state to begin a new career helping men meet the right women. And Danita is glad to have him as far away from her as possible.
This was totally not out of spite at all. You know, it's because I love that dog. And for me to say, no, I don't want any of the other dogs, I don't need those other dogs. I wanted AJ because I love him.
What she said about Dominique at the end isn't right. Dominique is real cool, and she loves this dog.